Hello, I'm Grigore Roșu, the CEO and founder of Pi Squared. And today, I'd like to propose an idea about a new idea, whether maybe blockchains are not the future of Web3. A few words about myself. I graduated with a PhD degree in computer science from the University of California, San Diego. Then I joined NASA. Then I joined University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, where I invented, together with my research lab, the K framework. Some of you may have heard of the K framework. Then in 2010, I started my first company, Runtime Verification, which is a security auditor with focus on formal verification. And now, Pi Squared. So I want to start with a controversial question. What if the future of Web3 is not necessarily blockchains? Some may find this question absurd. How else can we even have a payment system that is decentralized, censorship-free, verifiable? Blockchains provide one solution because they solved the double spending problem. But this is not the only solution. Blockchains also suffer from scalability. So there is another solution, a better solution. Again, most blockchains come with total ordering on transactions. Total ordering was great initially because it solved one of the most fundamental problems of digital currencies, which was double spending. However, that came at a big cost, that of scalability. And that worked for payments, great. But now, Web3 has many other challenges, not only payments. And for Web3 in general, this total ordering is pretty limited. It enforces certain architectural choices that cannot be easily changed. For example, all transactions have to stay in line, in a queue, to wait for each other, to be scheduled by a monolithic consensus protocol that creates, at best, serialization bottlenecks. However, a few years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, an amazing innovation was published, the FastPay protocol. How many people here heard of FastPay? No. So it's one of the most amazing results in Web3 in the last several years. It showed for the first time that you can have a payment system like Bitcoin, but without total ordering on transactions and yet avoiding completely the double spending problem. Moreover, it is massively parallel. All transactions happen in parallel. Nobody has to wait for nobody else. It is one of the best ever results. If you get anything from this talk, please go and read this paper. You'll be amazed. In a few words, the way it works is that there is still a local ordering for each account, which is unavoidable, but there is only a global verifiability and no total order on transactions, no big queue needed. And it inspired, but again, the proof of correctness is quite tricky, quite hard. But those who understood it incorporated the FastPay ideas in other systems like Linera and Sui. We were fascinated by FastPay. The problem with FastPay is that it only works with payments, same like Bitcoin, only with payment systems. We need full programmability, like in Ethereum and after. I'd like to make a point before I move on that verifiability is more important than ordering of transactions. We trust something because we can verify it. The fact that it happened before or after something else is irrelevant. If you receive 100,000 payments in a second, the order in which you receive them is irrelevant. What matters is that each of them was correct and you received it. Proofs is what matters in the end, and not order. Of course, the scalability issue is addressed by amazing researchers in the blockchain universe, by different techniques, layer 2s, and we see every year, every month, amazing innovations. However, all these are just patchwork fixes. They do not address the fundamental problem, which is the elephant in the room that we all avoid, which is sequencing, total ordering of transactions. That is what needs to be addressed. That is the big problem. We've seen signs and a shift initiated by the modularity movement, where different projects, important projects like Celestia, EigenLayer, and many other DA layers, and verifiable computing and different parallel sharding, which try to decompose the good part of blockchains, which is verifiability and proofs, from the not that good part, which is the serial sequentiality. So there are signs that we need this. And I'm not saying that blockchains will disappear. I'm saying that they will transform into something else, into what they should be. They should be organized notaries, one part of the big stack, for applications that really need total ordering, like Uniswap. It needs a total ordering. But there are lots of other applications, specifically more than 90% of transactions on blockchains that do not need total ordering at all. So why enforce it for all of them? So we believe that we are at an inflection point. Of course, venture funds, DeFi protocols, prominent DeFi protocols, Ethereum killers, they are all invested financially and reputationally in keeping blockchain central. But history shows little mercy to those technical incumbents that get stuck in the ways of the past, that use yesterday's models. So the time has come, we believe, to move on and to go for the next unlimited parallelism that it can be offered. In case that was not crystal clear so far, at Pi Squared, we are not building the next blockchain. What we are building is the Web3 infrastructure that will serve as a foundation for the next 1,000 of blockchains, applications, layer 1, layer 2s, AI agents, that will need to settle claims verifiably and correctly. What Pi Squared unlocks that blockchains cannot includes parallelized trustless coordination, fast verifiable execution across chains, instant claims, not so blocks. Actually, there are no blocks at all. And the claims are programmable, so they allow us to coordinate digital asset transfers and data and states and business logic of protocols and so on and so forth. And agents and AI native infrastructure, which will need to do millions of transactions per second very soon. I'm happy to announce that we just released our paper, actually this morning, the FastSet protocol, the FastSet paper that discusses and details the FastSet protocol, which you can get with that QR code or just searching for going on our website. So this is, again, a protocol that allows you to settle anything that is verifiably true, that comes with a proof. Not only payments like FastPay, but anything, any computation in any programming language, for example, can be settled. Anything that is true, verifiably true. And the way it works, to give you a very high-level idea, so a client proposes a claim and a verifier verifies it. Now you have a proof. All these go to a set of validators, which can be imagined like millions of validators that only validate signatures. And if the claim is valid, if everything checks, they sign, then the signatures are aggregated, and if quorum is obtained, then the claim is pre-settled, not settled yet, because there could be some causal dependencies between claims. They need to be settled in a certain order. but not the total order that we see on chains, but only the absolutely needed causal order between claims. And when that happens, then they are settled. And that's it. No validator talks to any other validators. They don't even need to be aware of each other. All right, so this is not only a concept, this is real. It is actually ready to be used. Please join our DevNet that we just launched last week. You can play with this. And I would like to also take this opportunity to announce that we are planning to launch our network, our mainnet, by the end of the year, together with one flagship product that will be a wallet for payments, which will be super fast, lightning speed, and a friendly user interface. So think private, but with fully decentralized and verifiable transactions. Thank you. Please reach out.